The events in this program are inspired by a true story. Names, dates, and details have been changed. Viewer discretion is advised. On this episode of Bizarre Murders, animal lover Lester can't get enough of adopting strays. But when he brings the wrong one home for the holidays,
Big Daddy don't like your tone.
his beloved bird
What's the matter with that thing?
will point his claw, nailing a killer. By day, good old boy Lester is the head of a local roofing crew. But when he's off the clock, he lives for country music, Adam Sandler movies, and cake decorating.
All right. Come and get it.
Lester has many passions, but people aren't one of them. For the most part, he's a loner who'd rather spend his time with the many stray animals he's adopted, which he refers to as his pookies.
Bon appetit.
Over my many cases at the FBI, I found that a lot of loners develop close relationships with animals. That's because loners avoid people for a reason. Anxiety, childhood trauma, things like that. But with animals, all that disappears. It's just about loving your pookies and them loving you right back.
Come on in, Anna.
When one of Lester's friends gets married to a man with bird allergies, she's forced to give up her lovebird.
He's so precious. Hey there. My new little Pookie.
Lester gets another Pookie to add to his menagerie.
Thanks, Anna. I'm gonna call you Big Daddy.
Named after his favorite Adam Sandler movie, of course.
Hey, look what I brung for you.
Lester and Big Daddy quickly bond. Lester enjoys spoiling his new BFF,
Hungry, hungry, hungry.
giving him the run of the trailer and bringing him back crawdaddies and grits from the local barbecue joint.
Oh, before you get fat as a tick, little sweet tea for my sweet Pookie.
Y'all got a 6?
Go fish.
You don't have a 6. 6, it looks like this.
Yeah, I know what a 6 looks like, Carl. Go fish.
Come on there, you got a 6. Let me
Carl.
see that hand.
Hey, get your mitts up, man.
Whoa! Hey, Big Daddy,
Big Daddy is ferociously loyal to Lester, attacking anyone who seems to be a threat to him, even a friend.
look! But you said that was a lovebird.
He is a lovebird. He's in love with me.
That's protective, all right. I've worked with some scary dudes over my career, and even I would be afraid if Big Daddy was coming at me.
Whew. Beer?
Bear.
Beer?
Bear.
Hey, buddy, how are you? Yes.
When Lester starts hanging out with a couple of guys from his crew,
All right.
Big Daddy is very
Liquid
jealous.
Relaxation.
Cheers.
Indeedy. Oh, oh, oh. You don't like you much, do you? Hey, come on, stop talking my bird now. Big Daddy, you leave him alone now. Come on. He can smell your fear. That's the problem.
Looks like these guys don't pass the Big Daddy test, and we all know animals have that sixth sense, and if they don't like you, there's usually a good reason.
Jesus. What's the matter with that thing?
Memphis over here just got back from 2 years in the big house for drug possession, and Billy Ray's never met a brawl he didn't like. If there's a bar fight in Lynette, there's a good chance he's at the center of it. What I don't understand is why Lester, the gentle giant, is hanging out with these deadbeats. It feels like he's asking for trouble, but he seems happier than a dead pig in the sunshine. For those of us not from the South, that means he's naive and more than willing to stay that way.
Bottoms up, fellas.
Yep.
Yeah! Let's have another! Come on!
Hey, Jimbo. Guys, this is my cousin Jimbo. These are the guys.
Another!
Ignore him, he's already cork high and bottle deep.
Come on! Another round! Let's go! About time.
Yeah, sugar.
Another round.
Turns out our gentle giant is an angry drunk. Well, that came out of nowhere.
I think you've had more than enough for tonight, sweetheart.
I'm talking to you, Chicky Poo.
Given the way Lester's acting, it seems like he has a problem. And from what I've witnessed, alcoholism can create a real personality split. So while he's little Nicky, when he's sober, he turns full-on Happy Gilmore once the booze is flowing.
Another round.
Well, bless her sweet picking little heart.
All right, leave it alone.
Just as drinking releases the anger in Lester, the holidays bring out his sense of joy.
Well, don't look at me like that. It ain't one of your relatives.
Every year, he cooks the turkey for his Christmas Day dinner with his few close friends. This time, he's going all out with a deep-fried
Gonna
turducken.
have us festive time.
When your best friend's a bird, holiday meals are hard. I'd suggest switching to a Christmas ham, but with Lester's collection of animals, he's probably got a pet pig tied out back.
Oh, hey, come on in.
When Lester and his turducken don't arrive for dinner, his friend Carl gets worried.
Lester? Where you at? Big Daddy?
Of course Lester's friends are worried about him. I mean, the guy never showed up for his favorite day of the year. That's pretty odd, especially when you're the one bringing the turducken.
Rise and shine, drunkie. Come on, boy, don't you be playing possum with me now. Come on, Lester, get up.
After years of dealing with Lester's drinking, Carl's convinced his friend has simply gotten lit up like a Christmas tree and passed out.
Come on, boy, I'll tuck you in snug as a bug in a rug.
Carl doesn't want to leave until he takes care of his friend Lester.
Lester! 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 Oh, Lester! That's it. This is Carl. Yeah, I'm out at Lester's place. I need a doctor. I'm gonna need deputy as well. Mess out here. It's not good.
Detective Peacock arrives on the scene. She's known for her no-nonsense attitude and her love of taxidermy. It doesn't take Detective Peacock long to establish that Lester's been strangled to death. But he's not the only victim. His beloved pet lovebird, Big Daddy, is also dead.
Oh no, not Big Daddy. I mean, it's weird that after seeing so many murders, animals being killed still gets to me. I guess there's a little animal lover inside all of us, even my cold, cynical heart.
With no sign of forced entry and Lester's television missing, Detective Peacock thinks she might be looking at a robbery gone wrong.
But what doesn't fit is the fact that this robber has ransacked the whole place, but only took the TV. And why kill Big Daddy? To strangle a guy, then kill his pet seems personal. I think we're looking for someone with a score to settle with Lester.
While Lester's cause of death is clear, Big Daddy's is less obvious. So Detective Peacock wants an autopsy.
A bird autopsy. That's a new one. What's next? Are they gonna lay separate charges? Try the case with an all-avian jury? I bet if the killer's found guilty, he'll be tarred and feathered.
Blood found on Big Daddy's claws leads Detective Peacock to her first major break at the crime scene.
Lester was strangled, so we know he wasn't bleeding. Big Daddy doesn't seem to be bleeding, which means the blood could only belong to our killer.
While Detective Peacock waits for the DNA report from the blood samples, a local preacher's wife calls in with a tip.
Thank you.
The same car has been parked at a convenience store since Christmas Day. When Detective Peacock runs the plates, she discovers the car belongs to Lester.
My.
When Detective Peacock searches the car, she discovers blood on the door and cigarette butts in the ashtray.
That's weird because Lester doesn't smoke, and I don't know many non-smokers who have cigarette butts in their ashtray. Here's my problem with this killer. Everything he does is almost smart, but then he doesn't follow the idea through. Like, he steals the car, which does shore up the robbery gone wrong idea, but then he dumps it somewhere easy to find and leaves a ton of evidence in it. It's almost like he wants to be caught. But if so, here's what you should do. Just turn yourself in.
Detective Peacock sends samples of the blood and cigarettes from the car to the lab for DNA and fingerprint testing. As those tests are being run, Detective Peacock calls Lester's friend Carl in for questioning.
Now, I assume you've known Lester for a while?
Lester and I had known each other many, many years.
Colorful guy, as I hear.
He was colorful, to say the least. He was multicolored, that character.
Interesting. A whole spectrum. You know anyone who'd want to tie a knot in Lester's tail? Or his birds?
Of course. All kinds. Lester had a way of being a fly in people's ointment. You know what I'm saying?
It turns out Lester's drunken exploits have earned him a number of enemies.
And yourself? Ever had any problems with Lester?
Yeah. Lester took a run at me a couple of times that...
But are you saying that you'd have reason and maybe want him dead? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not saying that at all. Now, don't you to be jumping to any conclusions there, missy, and pulling this New York City crap on me. There.
All right, I'm listening.
There was a bunch of new people hanging around. Roofers.
Carl reveals that Lester's been having problems with one group of people, his roofing crew.
These guys have all done time. Real bad seeds. You know what I'm saying?
And worst seed of all, good old Memphis. He's gotten into it with Lester over money and was caught stealing from him multiple times. As far as I'm concerned, that makes him a prime suspect.
Well, I don't know nothing about no murder. I mean, even if I did, I ain't telling no pig.
'Cause nothing makes you look more innocent than attacking the police for doing their job.
You got an alibi for the night in question, hot shot?
Duck hunting.
I see. So killing birds really deals your pickle then. You got an alibi to confirm this?
The ducks.
You can be all sweet and cooperate, or I can load you into a cell for the night. It's your choice.
My mother's gun club. Seniors with shotguns.
All right. I'll check into this. In the meantime, don't leave town.
When Detective Peacock contacts the club,
Oh, he was there?
She learns that Memphis's alibi is solid and that he can't hit the side of a barn with a bullet.
Who would kill Lester? And his bird? What do you think?
With Memphis eliminated as a suspect, Lester's case stalls.
Detective Peacock here.
I know who murdered that Lester guy and his little bird.
Who is this?
Detective Peacock convinces the tipster who called in about Lester and Big Daddy's murders to come down to the station.
Anybody again? They were in the bar, hooping and hollering and celebrating something.
All right.
And, oh, that winged monster's never gonna bother anyone again.
Turns out, Billy Ray and Jimbo have been drinking and bragging about having gotten rid of Lester and Big Daddy.
Were you aware of any bad blood or any past history?
I mean, look, everyone at that bar says one of them cousins did it.
So that would be Jimbo or Billy Ray.
Yes, ma'am.
Hoping to figure out which cousin committed the double homicide, Detective Peacock calls Billy Ray down to the station.
Thanks for coming in. I'm Detective Peacock. All right. Now, why would I be hearing that you got something to do with Lester and Big Daddy's murders?
Don't know. But what I can tell you is that whoever told you all that, it's only got one oar in the water. I was having Christmas dinner at my mama's place.
You got anyone to confirm that?
Well, Jimbo was there. I tell you, I ain't no lying dog.
We got a tip that Billy Ray or Jimbo killed Lester and Big Daddy. But now Billy Ray is using Jimbo as his alibi. Something smells fishy, and it's not Big Daddy's old crawdaddies.
Determined to crack Billy Ray's alibi, Detective Peacock brings Jimbo in for questioning.
Sir, there is no smoking in here.
Why you got an ashtray?
I like turtles. Please put it out. Now, Billy Ray says y'all were together the night of the murder.
Billy Ray's right. We were together all night.
Mm-hmm. Why do you look like 10 miles of dirt road?
Bar fight. I won.
Yeah, well, his shirt don't look like it.
Okay, we know Lester's killer was bleeding in the trailer the night of the murder. And now we got Jimbo showing up with all these injuries, which, to me, look more like he got mauled by a wild animal than won a bar fight. If I was a betting man, I'd say, to use a southernism, that Jimbo's trying to pee on our legs and tell us it's raining.
While cousins Billy Ray and Jimbo deny any involvement in the Lester and Big Daddy double homicide, they agree to provide police with DNA samples and fingerprints.
I'm not saying I don't want to help you catch Lester's killer or nothing, but all this is about as useful as tits on a bull.
You want me to floss now?
When the DNA and fingerprint results come in, they show no match to Memphis, but tie Billy Ray to the cigarettes and Jimbo to the blood in Lester's car and trailer.
I have no words. These guys just handed police the evidence to tie them to Lester the night of the murder. And hey, I'll take a match any way I can get one. I'm just saying it's a good thing that most criminals are this dumb, or else some of us over at the FBI would have been out on our ears.
I didn't do this. I swear it was Jimbo.
You got the wrong guy here. You should be looking at Billy Ray.
Blood may be thicker than water, but only when things are cool, it seems. Once they start getting hot, that blood thins real fast, at least when it comes to these two winners.
We are charging you and your cousin with the murder of Lester and Big Daddy.
I was there that night, but I didn't kill nobody. It was all Billy Ray.
Oh, that's so?
I got no reason to want to cream Lester's corn, not like Billy Ray.
Jimbo is ready to flip on his cousin, for the right immunity deal, of course. Jimbo reveals that Billy Ray recently got caught ripping Lester off.
You better give your heart to Jesus, boy, because your butt is mine.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah.
What, just because I took a couple of bucks from you, gave myself a little advance?
Big Daddy, he don't like your tone.
Turns out Lester caught Billy Ray withdrawing large sums from petty cash.
We know there was a fight. And Jimbo said you did it. You killed Lester.
No. I might have gone to his place. We might have had a fight, but we had a couple of beers and we sorted ourselves out.
Billy Ray has a very different ending to the story.
Now listen, this what's gonna happen. You are gonna work for me for free until we're good and squared up. Or maybe I'll just call the coppers. Your choice.
Fine. Sometimes you make my ass itch, Lester.
Yeah, well, you make me scratch worse than poison oak.
Well, get us another round. Put it on me. Hey, why do I need to go and kill a man when everything's all sorted?
I don't know. Why would you?
Well, this is a tough one. Jimbo's right that Billy Ray has bad blood with Lester. But Jimbo's got a lot of cuts and his blood is in the trailer. So what do you do when you're trapped in a he said? Well, you go back to your witnesses, of course.
What are your findings, Doc?
The victim has a cranial cerebral injury caused by blunt force trauma.
Anything else?
Most importantly of all, however, Dr. Herod reports that during the autopsy, he discovered blood on Big Daddy's beak and claws. And once again, the DNA matches Jimbo.
What kind of bird is this anyway?
That is a lovebird. It's a part of the parrot family.
You don't say.
Yeah, people like to buy them in pairs, but Big Daddy here was flying solo. Poor guy.
Big Daddy was so protective that he'd go after anyone attacking Lester. Jimbo's pecked and clawed up, so obviously he was Big Daddy's target. You know, when Jimbo says we should have seen the other guy in this bar fight, I thought that was because the other guy was in worse shape. Not that he was a bird.
I just want to let you know, Jimbo ruled over Anya. He said he'd rat you out for a deal. But I think we both know who the real killer is.
Jimbo's betrayal is Billy Ray's breaking point. Billy Ray admits that the night of the murder, he went to Lester's trailer under the guise of spreading Christmas cheer.
Lester, party
All
time.
right, happy holidays.
Happy holidays, Lester.
Billy Ray knew Lester would never turn down free booze.
Go have us some fun.
Hey. Big one for the big man.
Big Daddy likes a teapot. Keeps his claws warm.
Well, cheers that. Let me get you one more there, Lester. Come on, boy. Come on.
We gotta pace ourselves, boys.
We are,
It's not
fast
even
pace. Come here.
Christmas evening.
Once the cousins got Lester good and plastered, they got down to business.
Hey, you know, Lester, I want to talk of business. You owe me for all that work I've been doing for you.
Let me get this straight. Billy Ray defrauds Lester by dipping into the petty cash. Then, when he's partway through working off the money he's stolen, he decides that Lester's ripping him off and needs to give him back pay for the work he's done. Well, that just might be the definition of brazen.
I don't work for nothing, you know.
You serious? Oh, shit. You know, I never should have hired a bunch of townies. Y'all are about as useless as a steering wheel on a mule. You know, maybe I should just go call the coppers. Have them chuck you back in the joint where you belong.
You shut your mouth up about my cousin, boy.
Go! Go!
Grab the turkey, Jimbo! Turkey! Come on, Jimbo!
Despite Big Daddy's sacrifice, he's unable to save his owner.
Oh, please. Get Big Daddy to a vet. You can kill me. Just get him the help he needs.
Turns out Jimbo's motive was defending his cousin's reputation. The problem with hotheads like Billy Ray and Jimbo is that they go straight from 0 to 60, so something as simple as defending someone's honor can easily turn deadly, especially when you've got a button pusher like a drunken Lester around.
Looks like you and your bird are going the way of the dogo. Whoa!
As the adrenaline of the fight fades away,
Quick, grab that. Mess up the place a bit.
Billy Ray and Jimbo get focused on saving themselves.
So it doesn't surprise me at all that Dumb and Dumber over there have this brilliant brainwave about making the killings look like a robbery gone wrong. But in their hazy state, all they manage to do is create a fake robbery gone wrong.
Billy Ray and Jimbo are both convicted of first-degree murder and sentenced to life without the possibility of parole.
Can't believe that stupid bird put us here.
Stupid bird. You're the one who killed my boss in his own place and left your blood all over her, where?
Turns out Lester's love of animals continues after his death. He leaves all of his money to the Humane Society. Animals have a big impact on Jimbo, too. He's nicknamed Tweety in prison in honor of his lovebird scars. Sure, that worked out well. It goes to show you, never go up against a lovebird when, as the Southerners say, you ain't got the sense of a goose.